Udoka. Did I say it right? Okay, listen. Black man, um, was it worth it? Was she worth it? You hear this clock sound? It's like that's the clock ticking down until your year suspension is up and still probably don't have a job. I mean, for real, like for real. You couldn't find nobody else to cheat with. Get your resume together, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, it is your host E Rains. Don't even worry about it. We are not about to be here very long because the message is simple. Don't let this be you. Are you kidding me? How much money did this man lose? Okay, wait a minute. I don't even let's just go to the story, right? Let's go to the story first. So if you have not heard at this point, it's been a little while. So if you have not heard at this point, you are really off the grid. But that's cool. That's fine. If you getting your money, as long as you on task, that's what's up. So it's all right to be out of the know if you are somewhere getting to it. But listen, so here's the story, right? Ime Udoka suspended for multiple policy violations, right? Ime Udoka coached for the Celtics, right? Boston Celtics. And this man is now on a year suspension, you all, because he decided that he wanted to cheat or have an entanglement. If we go back to homegirl Jada, an entanglement, right? That resulted in multiple policy violations of the Celtics policies, right? And so this was, let me just say what it is right quick. Hold on, here it is. So the reigning Eastern Conference champion Boston Celtics suspended coach Ime Udoka after a months-long investigation by an outside law firm that found multiple violations of team policies, with plural policies, but did not point to a larger cultural problem of sexual misconduct, owner Weiss Grusbeck said Friday. Let's skip down a little bit. Neither Grusbeck nor president of basketball operations Brad Stevens would elaborate on the specifics of the violations or the private report that was delivered to the team 2 days ago. But a person with knowledge of the matter, speaking on the condition of anonymity because the details were not made public, told the Associated Press that it involved an inappropriate relationship with a woman in the organization. Udoka's multiple violations involved one woman, a Celtics spokesman said Friday. No one else in the organization is facing discipline, Grusbeck said, adding that the team will be vigilant to make sure that Udoka's actions aren't a signal that there is a larger problem. Cut right to the middle of that first sentence. So Udoka was suspended less than a week before training camp was to open for a team considered among the favorites to win it all this season. Assistant Joe Mazzulla was elevated to interim coach through June 30th, 2023. The Celtics say they have not decided about Udoka's future beyond then. Grusbeck said the team learned of the problem earlier this summer and immediately brought in an outside law firm to investigate. After receiving the report, Grusbeck met with Udoka and he expressed acceptance and appreciation for how this had been handled. Grusbeck would not say whether the suspension was unpaid, but confirmed that it comes with a significant financial penalty. A year-long suspension is uncommon, but not unprecedented for a professional sports coach, but the lack of public detail about Udoka's behavior has led some to question whether it was too severe. Okay, so now we got that out the way. That's the story, right? But see, okay, well, actually, let me just touch this part real quick so we can move it to the side as well because nobody cares right now. It is somewhat odd, the lack of detail that goes into this story about how this was presented to the public, and it's presented as basically a consensual relationship between two, like I said, consenting adults, right? that happen to be in the same workplace, and one happens to be higher situated than the other, right? So it's just a year suspension, and then this kind of hanging on of, oh well, you may be terminated at the end of that year. We really don't know. Like the question, and rightly so, that most people have is, what exactly is going on here beyond what we can see? And clearly, because clearly, I mean, a lot of people, honestly, a lot of people find their spouses at work, and they just may happen to be situated at different levels in the company or what have you. But a lot of people, you have to be careful about that in terms of people who are your direct reports and things of that nature. And really just at all in terms of when you have strict policies like this, right? Which is what I'll get to. But a year suspension and then a questionable return, if maybe could possibly type of situation, just seems to be excessive in a situation where, again, there's an assumption that there are two parties who are consenting adults to a relationship, or to some sort of relationship that has been unearthed, right? So that's odd, but really irrelevant in some aspects, right? Because this is about why, if you know that there's a strict policy in place here, why you would be so flippant with that when it has so much to do with your financial security and advancement. I mean, are you that good financially where you can just say, okay, yeah, I know there's strict policies on this and that, but I'm just going to do whatever and then see what happens, right? Why are you in this position? Why have you put yourself in this position? Is this person that you are with, this one person that they won't name, which I understand why, but I mean, in that case, you shouldn't have just said anything. Really, you should have fired Udoka and then just let it be what it was behind the scenes, right? But now you got all your whole staff subject to public ridicule because people are trying to figure out who this one person is, right? But anyway, Udoka, why would you position yourself in such a way for somebody who, and this is an assumption on my part, that it's somebody really not that important to you, because of course we would know who it is if it was somebody you were in public with or whatever, especially somebody who you would be in public with other than Nia Long, which folks are saying that you've been with since I want to say roughly 2010 or something like that. So you all may have some sort of arrangement where this is really not an issue in your relationship. No one knows. So I don't know that even Nia Long has an issue here. I mean, there was a report that someone said that Nia Long was blindsided, but I won't get off into it because it's really not as important. The important part is that I make the cautious assumption that this person was not critical to your life and the way it's set up for the future. Because this person is not someone that you have made a priority in terms of outwardly, right? So why would you risk your personal credibility, your professional credibility, your current relationship with your fiance, and all of these other things, for some sort of fling at work, right? Is there nobody else you could find that you happen to not have some sort of authority over to have a relationship with? I mean, I know some things are just convenient, but still, this is not something. I'm quite sure that as he's sitting and counting the cost, this was not worth the trouble. And it stands to reason that maybe folks should think about that beforehand, as opposed to having your life kind of sit in ruin thereafter, right? And that's the reason why, as you all are out here, this is something that's on a grand scale, right? With people who are entertainers and or in the entertainment realm, right? He's a coach, but in the entertainment realm, and so it's a lot more highlighted and a lot more salacious and a lot more public, right? But even in you all's personal lives, make sure that you are making sound decisions that will not interrupt your plan for your life, your financial freedom, your stability, your income, and your personal well-being. Think about these different things, you all, and And be mindful that your decisions that you make when it comes to these type of things can really have long-lasting, lingering, and also life-altering impacts on your life and your trajectory. So I don't want to be overly dramatic and say that the man will never work again, because of course, unless there's something else that's going on here, which a lot of people theorize and speculate about, but we're just not going to go that far down there because we don't have that information, right? But unless there's something much larger coming down the pike, he will land on his feet, and get himself situated. He was performing well as a coach, and so there should be nothing that will preclude him other than someone being concerned about his ability to follow policies. There should be nothing that should keep him from finding another job, right? So, but just in short, count the cost sometimes. I know it's difficult to do. Some things are just convenient. You don't really think about it, but this is a cautionary tale, honestly, for folks who are in great position, for great earning potential, for, setting your life up, your future up to do well and have financial freedom. Make sure you don't derail that by convenient, things like this, where you have policy violations and things that you take for granted in terms of the rules that are, because to be honest with you, everybody's beholden to someone or something. If you're an employee, there are rules and policies that are in place that you must follow. If you're an entrepreneur, everybody's your boss who you do business with, right? It seems like a thing of just immense freedom, and yes, you can tailor policy and things like that yourself as a leader of an organization. But understand that ultimately too, those who would be your market or who you would sell to also have a say in whether or not they want to do business with you based upon how you set up your organization. So just always be mindful as you move forward, not to derail your personal development and advancement for things that you would not see as part of your long-term future anyway. Be very mindful of things like this, because it's a wake-up call. You can really be lulled to sleep by just the mundane goings-on of every day and just thinking, I'm just doing this, nobody knows about this or that. Be mindful that, different things, when they come to light, will they have the ability to throw you off of your path of progression? So that's all I wanted to say about this. I'm not going off into all of the rabbit holes around this thing, because honestly, it's more story about how there's a lack of information than there is information to report on. But this is the type of stuff you got to watch out for. And then keep it in mind and consideration that there are other things that play into these type of things. The fact that you are a man and then there's a woman involved. There's a societal viewpoint or societal sensitivity to that. You're also a melanated individual, a black man. We know how those things fare, so we're not going to blame this on race, but we will say that we understand if there is a way to get the short end of the stick, you will find that as well. So just being mindful to not put yourself in precarious situations that limit your advancement or slow it down in any way. All right, guys, that's a short one real quick. I just had to get that one out. No need to belabor the point on the issue, but you should know, watch it.
I can never doubt myself, I know better. All of you critics be acting like you know better. Blowing the smoke, but I know when the dust settles that I'm in my element. It's evident that there's levels to the game. All of those dark nights I got then, breaking my back to make it out, got me feeling like rain. I ain't never need your help, I know you wishing me well. A penny for your thoughts, but seeing no change. I snap for the sun like Diddy. The riches got a mad ass son, I'm like Billy. I ain't never switch up, whole team with me. Putting on for my city like OAGZ.